What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. My name's Rich. You can find me on X at FuzzDoomRip, all the socials at rich.paiva. As a Doom Charts contributor, doing reviews of Musopedia of Metal and generally other annoying stuff. Turbo, what's going on? How are you?
I am freshly showered and shaved.
That's I'll take your word for it. But we're very excited to have a band that I think we're going to start hearing a lot more of. But if you haven't heard of Mordbear before, now is your time to, because number one, they have this amazing EP out that you can go grab. It's wonderful. Um, 3 songs, which is a little bit of a tease, but we'll get into that in a bit. And then also the very cool comic that comes with it that accompanies each song, which is very, very cool. We have Tyler, Nico, and Eric from Mordbear on the show with us. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
Hey, thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And, you know, you guys are in Portland, correct? You guys are talking right from Portland, which is, I feel like 70% of our shows are Portland or Canada at this point. So just amazing scenes, amazing stuff going on up there. I want to talk to you about the EP, talk to you about the band, but if you guys can introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band, that would be awesome to start.
Sure.
My name is Nico Martinez. I'm the bass player of Mordbear. I also am not good at anything else, like even screwing the microphone in. So I just 4 strings, fuck with knobs, and that's it.
As far as anyone knows, you did a wonderful job with that microphone. As it goes to anything from recorded history.
We'll change it in post.
I'm Tyler. I do lyrics and sing and play guitar.
And artwork on the record. Eric, drums.
What's up, guys? So many questions about just 3 songs. And I say just 3, but they're 3 killer songs that I think is a little bit of hopefully what's to come from you guys. To start, number 1, I love the cover. And the cool thing about the cover, now, Tyler, did you do everything in here too? Or is this a combo effort? How did the, is this all from you guys, or how did that whole thing work out?
Yeah, I did the cover, and then I did some of the overall design stuff for the comic. I also did the Alchemist chapter of the comic, and then
Cool stuff.
yeah,
Love
exactly. It. And then Nick Smith and my other buddy Tim did the other chapters. So I hit up a couple friends that are artists that are way better artists than I am, and had them help me out. And I sent them the song and the lyrics, and kind of with Nick kind of let him run wild, and then with Tim laid it out in a little more sort of strategic kind of comic book script style, and had them do sort of their interpretation of the song and the visuals. And yeah, so it was a really fun project for 3 songs, with kind of interesting backstories to let them sort of bring that to life in a visual way, and in sort of a short form that was fun to do, in kind of a pulp comic book style.
You have set lofty expectations for any release going forward now, doing like a mini comic for each song on the EP. I've read a couple interviews that you guys have done, just a little bit about the band. I think anyone who listens to it can probably guess a few of your influences. But for those of the people who are listening now who have not checked out the EP, number 1, go do it. Came out in June, and how dare you not have already? But what would you and how would you explain or describe what Mordbear is all about musically?
I think my initial idea, kind of forming the band, was an acid rock kind of a 70s, Sabbath, maybe Sabbath adjacent, like a BC level club Sabbath that's kind of doing the spooky stuff, but really kind of do something that's more sort of rooted in what we're doing now, with other influences and stuff, and with the wealth of influences between then and now that we can kind of tap into. And that's definitely where these guys come in. I'll let you guys speak on your own musical influences.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyler writes the songs, and then we craft them as a band. I'm coming off a 20-year hiatus, not playing drums, so by default, kept my parts really stripped down. But I like harder hitting, forms of heavy rock and metal. So tried to boost it up a little bit and not just sound like a retro take on it all, and bring the heavy a little bit more.
Yeah, and I would say for me, this is my first time playing like electric bass in probably since like 8th grade. I'm primarily an upright bassist. I grew up in the Los Angeles area playing like psychobilly and rockabilly and like garage rock and stuff like that. So I bring like I guess a lot of that to this. Yeah, I think that a lot of the psych stuff that I was into is kind of like a lot of like Latin music, things like that. So like kind of weirder rhythmic stuff. Not so much that I think like we hear it in these first 3 songs, but I think in these newer ones we've been kind of bringing in a lot of weird stuff, and hopefully like it's more dynamic now when people are like coming to our shows, coming off of that, maybe listening to that EP and then seeing kind of us progress now. Yeah, I think it's just interesting. And like Tyler said, I think everyone kind of has very like different influences. He's super into like High on Fire. Steve, what's Steve on? You're on like Steve Fontilla. I'm sorry, dude. It's on the spot. Yeah, he's like super into like Neurosis. I liked all the like growing up with like a lot of punk rock stuff too. So it's like a good like mix, and then a lot of common ground as well.
I'm trying to figure out what Tyler did to get a drummer who hadn't drummed in 20 years and an upright bass player who hadn't played electric since 8th grade to come and join this kind of acid, kind of, stoner, whatever you want to call it, band. That's kind of bringing guys out of retirement or out of their comfort zone. How did that all come together?
I would say like I'll just speak just because for that one at least like years ago. I mean, it's been years that I've been trying to form like a Doom adjacent band, and for a while I wanted to do it with an upright bass, but everyone was like, "Nah, dude, like this isn't like fucking jazz or country music," and nobody wanted to do it. And
It's too much low
I
end.
had the fucking setup to do it. I could still do it. So if there's anybody out there who wants to start a side project,
Yeah, the answer is Craigslist, I think. Yeah, like I had the songs kind of at least a couple tracks percolating for years. Like some of them, like the Dead, I think I'd written like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and then once I was ready to jump in, found Nico's post on Craigslist, and then immediately we meshed and we're like, oh, we've been to this show and this show, and like, oh, I saw whoever, and I was like, oh, I was at that show. So we like immediately were like on the same page, and then started playing, and then brought a drummer in and auditioned a couple people, and then Eric showed up, and he was like, I won't say green, like you're a fucking pro, but like a little rust around the edges, I could tell like this guy's like knows what he's doing. This guy like heavy hitter, like pro. And then it took like 2 practices I think before he was like back in the saddle and like ripping and learned the song super fast. And then we started writing, and it was like off to the races from there. Yeah.
Very cool. We definitely need to explore more of the upright bass doom band because I think there's something there too. I think there's something there.
I'm surprised nobody's tried it yet.
Yeah, I think
tuning is going to be a little bit tough, but
yeah, I think there's something there. Turbo, what do you got for the guys?
Yeah, I was excited when I saw that it said stand up bass. I was like, all right, that's really cool. Then I saw, well, he doesn't play it anymore.
I mean, I still do. I think like the band. This is like I said, like my previous bands. I've been out here for like 10 years now, and everything was like upright bass. So I think like it'd probably be weird to people seeing me now. Like I'm a pretty big dude with like this little fucking bass now. It's like, I wonder what they think. But yeah, fuck it.
But I really dig your old sound, and I enjoy all these songs. I also want to know, on the beginning of Like the Dead, am I hearing Chopin's Funeral March starting off that song pretty much right there?
Yeah.
All right.
Baseline.
I was like, that sounds really familiar. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's Chopin. So I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah,
All
Nico
right, cool.
snuck that in, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Should we leave that in?" And then I was like, "Yeah, but I don't see why not."
Yeah, I was like, is this like a little too corny? And then I was like, yeah, we'll leave it in. We'll see what happens.
If it's
No,
the
it's cool.
theme, yeah.
Very
So
cool.
did-
Turbo, nice grab there, Turbo. You're definitely on the 500 side now of things that you're hearing and confirming with the bands. It's kind of a bit we have on the show. Turbo thinking he's hearing something and then confirming whether it is the correct instrument or not. So
Wait,
Um,
who was the artist though that you referenced?
Chopin.
Chopin.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the funeral thing. Like,
Yeah,
I
It's
didn't know.
the-
I
it's
just
the-
noticed that.
I was giving Nico too much
I was
props.
saying,
Yeah,
you're
understanding that.
enlightening me here.
It's Chopin's Funeral March is the song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking of the guy from Big Trouble in Little China. What was his name?
Lopez. Different guys. Very cool though. Same guy. Yeah, both very cool. I want to know what's going on here. Looks like there's some happy people not realizing that the world is burning around them. Is that kind of what you were going for with the album art?
Yeah, 100%. The band name comes from a sci-fi book by Jeff Vandermeer called Born, and there's a 300-foot kind of like sci-fi flying bear named Mord. So Mordbear like comes from that, and I guess I wanted to do something like a little different than your average like doom stoner sort of stereotypical cover, and then also just get like weird and kind of artistic with the like impressionist kind of style and evoke something like that's not quite right, and I feel like it was sort of fitting with the theme and kind of like where we are globally now. So that's what I kind of like started with and started cooking up for the cover.
You did notice the top right corner of the cover, didn't you? What the cloud formation looks like?
Bear. That's friggin' awesome. Thank you, Turbo. Staring at it now, I'm like, now I can't not see the bear. I'm seeing the bear. Did you? Is this? How did you come up with this? Did you paint this? Did you? Like, how did this come to be?
That's a digital painting with a program that emulates like oil painting, basically. Yeah.
So cool. Very cool. It gives to me. It kind of reminds me of some 90s stuff in a good way, in a positive way, like something you'd see from up that way in the Pacific Northwest from back in the day. That kind of that contradiction between what's going on in the world and what we can sometimes be ignoring while the world is burning around us. So love it. I definitely connect with that. And now I see the bear. Like, there's the bear. In case anybody is wondering, the bear is right there.
It's back there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely there.
Like, I wanted a sort of like a sense of kind of impending doom, but also kind of like blissful ignorance, I think is sort of the theme, of the cover.
Mission accomplished. Absolutely. It's it's very cool. Turbo, what do you got for the guys?
Well, Eric, I noticed that you pretty much just use a stripped down drum set. When I saw a couple of live videos on YouTube, you pretty much got a small set, right?
Small in pieces, large in diameter.
Large in
That's my
heart.
approach. Large in heart.
Oh, that's what I was leading to. I like, you notice drummers who have a scaled down set, man, usually just rock the hell out, So you got a great sound.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite drummers has one of the smallest sets that he uses. I don't think he drums anymore, but Chuck Biscuits is one of my favorite drummers of all time, and just this little tiny set, and he makes so much noise from it.
What's the kit? Isn't there like
because
a little bit of history to that specific kit?
Yeah. Got Drums is no longer in existence. It was a Canadian drum company that was big in the 90s. I think the most famous drummer to play IOT was dude from Soundgarden. Forgetting his name.
Matt Chamberlain.
There you go.
He was the original, right? Well, I bought the drums from Matt Chamberlain. But he also appeared on a lot of like session recordings. I mean, today he tours with like Diana Krall, stuff like that. which is a little beside the point. But I ended up inheriting kind of like a piece of music history, so that was neat. But I mainly just love the drums. I mean, they're beautiful, and they record really well. I look forward to spending more time in the studio with them next go around.
That's a really good lead in to you've given us these three amazing songs and all that goes with it. What are we expecting next from Mordbear? And by the way, thank you for explaining the band name. Generally, I go into and ask those questions, and then I feel stupid because it was some kind of Lord of the Rings character that I probably should have known. And then people shame me for not knowing Lord of the Rings and buy me the 3-book set. Thank you, Rob, for doing that. So thank you for explaining the band name. But what are we expecting next from you guys? You've given us the 3 songs, which somebody called in a review I read a demo. It doesn't sound like a demo to me at all. But what's next? What are we doing studio wise and new song wise?
Yeah, tell them the whole demo story.
Yeah,
that's kind of your.
Well, we recorded that in one afternoon, with the intentions of it being a demo, but I have a friend who runs a small label in Chicago, and I was pretty sure he'd be interested in whatever I was doing next because he released my old band,
Ditterid.
Ditarid Records.
Ditarid.
Yeah. So what was meant to be a demo turned into a release, which was really just kind of skipping a step, you know. And we were happy enough with how the songs came out. Nick Rogers, who recorded it, I just think did an incredible job, especially with the compressed time we had to get it all done. So because of all the fancy art, it took us like 6 months to get it out. But at the time,
it sounded like it was my fault it took that long.
Oh no, actually, not really at all.
Some asshole had to take so much time.
There's a lot of links in the chain. But
there's the vinyl pressing, delays
vinyl pressing,
and all kinds of shit.
Prints in the comics, but yeah. What was the other point on that?
As far as like next steps.
Next steps, yeah. Good question. How about you take that?
Yeah.
Like a beginning of next year. So like we're gonna take the end of the year. We have a couple tracks brewing, and we're gonna keep writing and refining, and I think take the 3 that are on the demo and sort of rework them a little bit so that they're fresh and not just like exactly the same versions that is out now. And then we're gonna cut the full length hopefully like in January.
Excellent. Nice. There's a few bands that have kind of done that. I think Elkwitch, a band up your way, did something similar with their first release and kind of reimagined some of that stuff. Another band that I really dig from up in Portland. You mentioned, Eric, that you were in another band that you recorded. Anybody that we would know? Any band that we might have in my collection right now?
The Good Boy Suit?
I don't know them. Okay.
That was recorded in 2001. And Ditarid
East Coast hardcore.
Yeah, it's kind of post-hardcore, gloomy Midwest, you know. It's heavy. Maybe you'll give it a listen, see what you think.
Yeah.
Very
He'll
different.
hunt it down.
Turbo loves when somebody says hardcore on the show because I light up and he goes back into the darkness. And he's like, oh shit, here goes Rich. And you know, Eric now mentions 2001 Midwest post-hardcore, and like my ears like perked up. I'm like, what? This is going to be a whole different show. But I will definitely check that out because that is definitely my wheelhouse. Outside
I'm
of
likely to hunt down any psychobilly stuff that Nick's done.
Yeah, that's where Turbo would go. Yeah, and that would be the next question. I have definitely want to check that stuff out. Name another band that you like of that genre. Who would be a relative comparison, Eric, of the band that you were?
Gosh, well, there was many in the Midwest that are probably not household names.
It's okay.
You know, like more iconic names would be like Slint. Bands from this was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so like the bands that were around back then. I mean, we were like right next to Shellac in Chicago, so there was crossover there. And then,
very cool.
yeah, there's just so many bands from back then that were amazing and didn't really stay around long enough. Let's just say.
Yeah, Shellac is.
Kind of missed us. Like we're always drinking beer, and then Eric's like, "Oh, yeah, like dead guy on the curb, or like like in a barn on fire," and we're just like, "What are you talking
I don't
about,
know what the
dude?"
fuck he's
Yeah,
talking about.
this
Yeah, I'll
whole-
just sit there and nod. Yeah.
That is kind of how Turbo and I have conversations about punk and hardcore. That's pretty much how it goes, right? It's that's really funny. But Nico, to Turbo's point, what were some of the other bands that you might have been in? Because he definitely leans more in that direction, where I go towards the post-hardcore Midwest stuff.
God, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of that stuff when I was younger, it was like really corny, like coming out of like the Misfits stuff, and everything was like about like horror type shit. I was really into like a lot of the stuff from the '80s. There was like a band. I think they were still around when it was the USSR. They were called the Mean Traders. From where are they from? Somewhere in Russia, but they're still around. I'm not sure about their views nowadays, but yeah, I think they're like coined as having like one of the fastest like slapping upright bass players that I've ever heard. You know, growing up, like hearing that shit, I was like, oh fuck, like this is crazy. Like, yeah, it was like stuff to make people like want to start pitting and all that. But yeah, I would recommend like the Mean Traders, Demented Argo. It's another good one from the UK. I grew up on like all that stuff. Batmobile from where the Netherlands. They're good too. Kind of more rockabilly oriented, but faster, and they have their moments.
Awesome. This is a whole new discussion for us here on the show, which is very, very cool. We love to learn about this stuff. I feel like the most famous rock upright bassist is the dude from Sublime, or maybe the dude in the Stray Cats. I don't know. Am I like from a rock standpoint? Am I missing somebody other than that? Because I feel like you're.
I don't even know the guy from Sublime played. Are you talking about?
I was gonna say Sublime
Does he
played
play
upright.
upright
I
bass?
don't even know that.
I am. I'm having, maybe it was just for visual in the videos where he was playing an upright bass, but I'm almost positive he did.
Like growing up, like because we grew up in like the Los Angeles area, so it was like Sublime was like constantly on the radio.
Oh yeah.
So I almost was like,
Everywhere, dude.
fuck Sublime. But I
mean, there's,
no,
like,
when I got older, I was like, I appreciate.
Necromantics, and there's all kinds of like, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember I wasn't even really into psychobilly, but I still remember like that being such a huge scene.
Yeah.
In Southern California.
it's huge, like the Orange County area. Like we had like a lot of crossover. Funny enough, we're from like same area, and we kind of played in like garage type bands while in the same area, and like talk about different venues we played at, like when we were in like our 20s. So, but yeah,
It's awesome. Tyler, what scene do you come from background wise? You mentioned you're from kind of, you and Nico are kind of from a similar area. What were you playing? What were you doing back then?
Yeah, he's from like North LA County area, and I'm from Orange County, and I was playing in like the kind of LA, Long Beach, Orange County psych scene, which in like 2000 whatever it was, 7 to 10 or so, was like fairly big. So it was kind of the like Burger Records scene. Not that I got in with the Burger guys, if you know about their whole deal, but played in like Long Beach, and it was very like a surf psych kind of bubblegum psych kind of like old psych kind of resurgent stuff. Psych. Yeah, like
And
like growlers and all the laws and stuff like that. It was like really big, kind of like in the area. Yeah.
very cool. It's amazing the three very unique backgrounds that you guys come from, and I always think Orange County, and because I'm probably a little older, I always think of like the punk rock scene, that came out of that area. I'm a big like fan of like the Vandals and stuff like that. That
dude, the
always.
Vandals. I'm like in Ventura County area, but I think the other day I used to go there a lot when I was younger, and somebody posted a picture of it the other day, and I think like at the end of next month, like the Vandals are playing there. but they were like kind of always in rotation. Like that stuff, the stuff from Oxnard, the hardcore stuff was like super killer, and that's like a lot of what everyone was into. Like, I guess yeah, when I was growing up, because that was like the last of like the shit that made it outside of the bubble. Like a lot of at least the Oxnard like skate punk stuff. So yeah,
I just remember seeing like the Offspring. I saw the Offspring play, and it was and like, but it was this was like when the big hit came out, and they had the Vandals open, and the guy from the Vandals just ran out, and he just it was like a bunch of kids with their moms at the show because they were Offspring was getting huge, and he just a string of fucks for like 2 minutes straight. That's just all he did, and then they busted in and played like 20 songs in 45 minutes.
yeah.
It was wonderful.
Remember that song that I want to be a cowboy. Just really get in a fight to like that song is super sick.
Yeah, now they're all like golf pros. Like it's weird now. But anyway, we all grow up and do stuff. But back to you guys. So direction-wise, musically, I know you mentioned kind of you're starting to bring in some of maybe your influences outside of what we might hear on the 3 tracks on the EP. What are we expecting? What kind of direction are you guys starting to hear or cultivate with your writing?
I think kind of some of the pieces that are in the 3 songs, I think in some ways we're getting kind of heavier, like Mirror with the Sea of Flames certainly has some a little more doomy kind of flavor. We're leaning in that way. We're also leaning into kind of more space and more soft dynamic stuff. So I think we're pushing kind of the dynamics a little bit in both directions. And faster, there's a song called Red Wizard that we play live that's like really ripping. I think yeah, you guys can kind of speak on the tone, but I think we're taking some of the pieces that are in the 3 songs and kind of like seeing what else we can do, faster, slower, harder, softer, just like in all directions.
Yeah.
You let the punk drummer actually come out and play some faster songs, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, we're working on a new track, and I'm testing Eric's like kick drum stamina. Yeah, we're really hammering it.
Love it. Really looking forward to it. And you guys are playing out still. You guys have shows that are for up and through the end of the year. Tell us about that. Tell us where you're playing, who you're playing with, and anything exciting that's coming up there, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think on the October 30th, we're playing at the High Water Mark. I think it's like a Thursday, 10:30, with the band from out here by the name of Old Kingdom. They were super cool dudes. They played with us at our album release show. Them and then a band from Bend by the name of Batwave. They've played with a couple bigger names down there. They've done shows with like Hippie Death Cult. So they kind of, the Southern Oregon scene, like they've kind of hit a lot of the bases out there. And then December 13th, we haven't technically like announced that one yet, but yeah, we're playing a show at the Kenton Club out here. I don't know if any of these names ring.
Hey, half our listeners are from Portland at this point, from Florida to Tennessee to Portland, so they'll know.
Go Florida, dude. But yeah, so the Kenton Club, and we're going to be playing with a band by the name of Quality Thief and La Boss. We haven't played with them yet. We're still kind of we're at this point, we're down to play with like whoever. I don't even really particularly care to be in like, hopefully we're like somewhat adjacent. Like it's not like a DJ set and then us or something like that. Yeah, we're down for like any kind of flavors of rock and roll, and just we don't care, man. We'll play with whoever.
Excellent. So, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you. I have learned a lot. I think Turbo has taught us also some stuff, which is always what we look for. Guys, this is available on Bandcamp. You can go grab it in
It's only right?
It's limited. Yes, there are only a few, and they're also bundles. I have questions about bundles when we hang up because I have a question based on what I already own and what I want to own. But go to Bandcamp and check that out. it's an excellent record that I think might have gone a little under the radar for the folks who listen to the show and who like the stuff that we love. And don't let it, because everything from the music, the artwork, the accompanying stuff, which is very, very cool, and just your kind of just awesome different influences that you bring. I can't wait to hear what's next for you guys.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Mordbear, more to follow. Please come back and talk to us when you're going to put out the new record. And it's been great. Thank you, guys.
it. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a pleasure.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.